Get tilted! I can't win, can I? It's like a curse. It has to fall out in every video now, apparently. We're finishing up the Lost Boys trilogy with The Lost Boys: The Thirst. Now, like I said, I had the first two. I was ready for this one. And I thought that somehow, some way, they were going to bring back Chris and Nicole from the previous one. You know, they're going to help hunt down vampires and somehow bring in Alan Frog to finish off this trilogy. You know, finish off his story too. Well, like I said, it basically ignores the tribe, except for the ending, because Edgar mentions that he killed Sam. So Sam's gone, which is works because Corey Feldman by this time, or Corey Haim by this time, had passed away. So I guess that plotline works. They even mention Michael and Star, and that they don't want nothing to do with Corey Feldman after he killed Sam. So, or Edgar after he killed Sam. So, yeah. So we get this sort of it ends up being a dream, but it shows us what happened to Alan. Edgar and Alan, the Frog brothers, they are saved Senator from being attacked by an old vampire, and during this, Alan gets bitten, or not bitten, but is forced to drink blood. It's a little forced, I guess, but then he becomes a vampire. But then, go forward to sometime after the second one, I assume sometime, that Edgar is now in his own, and in the trailer again, his hair's longer, as you can see, it's like it was in the first one, actually, but, you know, he's not even on the cover of this thing. And everyone else but the Frog Brothers are on the cover of that. But, so, I'm going to keep going quick. Edgar is approached by a woman named Gwen and says that a vampire, DJ X, has kidnapped her brother. And they believe that DJ X might be the alpha vampire, the first vampire. Ages old, centuries old vampire, the first. If you kill this vampire, all the vampires disappear. There's no more vampires. They all turn back to being human. And so, in this movie, Edgar has a friend named Zoe who works at a comic book shop or graphic novel shop, whatever. And she sort of has this. There's a clipping that shows about Edgar has in his name about a werewolf, or not Edgar, but the senator friend who's now a hunter. He has about a werewolf, and that kind of leads into the end, but we don't really get much of a talk about that to the end, and it was kind of sequel bait that never happened, but we'll get to that. So upon agreeing to help Gwen, he finds out that Gwen has paid another hunter. I don't remember his name. Lars. The guy's name is Lars, and his assistant Klaus, to help her. Well, to help in, Lars ends up risking his life, but eventually he gets Alan to agree to help too, even though Alan's a vampire, but he's not like a full-fledged, like, I don't think he's like fully, maybe he's fully turned, I'm not sure, but I assume he is since he fed on Sam. And drink, I don't know. Wait. In this universe, you can't be turned by getting bit by a vampire. You have to drink their blood. So that deleted scene where Sam had a bite on his neck, what was that supposed to mean? Because you can't be turned by a vampire bite in this universe. I just thought of that. I don't know. So they get to this underground party thing. They go in and they kill DJX and they rescue Peter, and they think it's done. But people aren't turning back. They're still vampires. And Alan is still a vampire, and that's when they find out, especially when Gwen starts to make out with Peter, her supposed brother, they find out it was a trick. Peter is actually the alpha. DJX was going to drink his blood under a full moon and become a new alpha. Well, and Peter was going to make Gwen a vampire too, but he ends up killing her, and there's this big fight between them, and there's even the alpha can control the vampire, so he like puts his mojo on Alan, tries to get Alan to kill Edgar, but eventually Alan is able to counteract this, and they kill Peter, get rid of every vampire. Everybody turns back to being human, and yeah, that's over. The vampires are over. Alan can finally, relax in the sun, and have a life. And they do flash back to scenes from the original film, kind of pay tribute to Corey Haim, and also there's that Batman number 1 or something that Sam was looking for in the original film that Corey Feldman that Edgar is holding on to in this. Now the sequel bait, because this is kind of, I was like, yeah, with it, because I thought, okay, now they're gonna do a whole new thing with werewolves, but now that I think about it, okay, so they're in Edgar and Zoe are in a comic book store, and Edgar asks how she knew that vampires were real, and she said it was just a hunch. And now he picks up his Kindle and he starts talking about, did you know that lycanthrope or female werewolves can turn whatever they want? They don't have to wait for a full moon. And then she is like, oh, I didn't know that. And she turns to the camera and she has weird wolf eyes. And that's supposed to signal a sequel we never got. But I think it would have been cool to go from vampires to werewolves, but I don't think we'll ever get. I know they're doing I know Joel Schumacher wanted to do a sequel to The Lost Boys called The Lost Girls, and I think they're doing a comic book version of that, so interesting. Not big in the comic books, but so yeah, this one I thought was better than the Tribe, because at least there was a little more action and stuff. And it focused more on Edgar instead of other characters, because that's my biggest problem. I know the first film was about Sam, and the Frog Brothers were a part of that, but without Corey Haim, you need to focus on, Edgar, and as the only character returning from the original film in the Tribe. And they were focusing on Chris and Nicole. Yes, their last name is Emerson, but Corey Feldman or Edgar Frog should have been the focal point, and he was kind of a background character, a side character. In this one, he is the main character, and that worked better for me than the other one. So, what I give the last one? 6. So, I'm going to give The Last Boys The Thirst an 8 out of 10. Because I think it's decent. I think it's better than the Tribe, that's for sure. So, guys, That's what I gotta say. What are your thoughts on The Lost Boys: The Thirst? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like, share, subscribe. I only got 5 more movies to watch. And I finished my reviews. 5 more movies to do, and I'll finish the 31 on 31 reviews. Then I just gotta do the ranking. It'll give me like a week to get that done. Get that written down and ready to do the video on Halloween before I have to go and trick or treat with my son. So yeah, another franchise down, 2 to go. One's just a duology, a trilogy, but you know what I mean. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and as always, I love peace and chicken grease. Distracted.